here is somebody who says that there is a difference between looking at things versus seeing them. Looking versus seeing. And that's what he's going to tell us here today. Srikanth describes himself as an avid traveler and someone who loves to explore and experience cultures, adventures, or anything new. He loves dabbling in the creative arts, including painting, dancing, and photography. Although he's in the IT industry, he believes that he has struck a balance between the mundane and the wonderful, and that makes his ordinary a little bit extraordinary. Let's hear it for our speaker, Srikanth Balla.
Am I audible? Yeah, thanks. So traveling has been a passion for me since I was a kid, but it actually started making sense only 3.5 years back. On a trip to Dubai, a handicapped traveler along with me appreciated my work and gave me a piece of advice. And this PPT depicts the piece of advice through the slides. Taken at Rohtang Pass, just footsteps on the snow, but it actually is the start of my journey as a travel photographer. So, picture taken at Ladakh Lamayuru Monastery. Looking at this old man, every wrinkle is an experience he wanted to tell. The harsh weather, the monastery, the monks, the conditions where he was surviving in, and the sad part of the story is like this time when I visited Ladakh, old people like him are just posing for 10 rupees for the photograph. Coorg, somebody was in Coorg like a couple of days back, I guess. Famous for its nature, greenery, plantations. We walked the same path every day, like for the past couple of days. But when I clicked this picture, then I realized that beauty really lies in details. This was like a fungi which was growing on a park bench, but everybody just like walked around it, and it was contrasting in the green background. Taken in Ladakh, Lucknow Old Market. So we were stuck in the old market. We went to have the galati kebabs, but we were stuck because of the Chai Chowpal and Mr. Modi's presentation going on that point of time, or the campaigning going on. So what next to do? Have some tea. So the shopkeeper who was like making a quick buck during the Chai Chowpal selling his tea, he became such a good friend. So another advantage of traveling is like you make friends at unexpected places. Again from Lucknow Old Market, this old man offered to ride us around in his rickshaw. He's been doing the same job since he was 13 years old. And he has so many stories to tell about the old market since back then. And we didn't feel like sitting in the rickshaw, so we took a walk while listening to his stories. And again, like friendship at like unexpected places. We were a noisy bunch in Ladakh, and we went to Thikse Monastery. Taken there, this monk was just sitting there and observing us. And we thought that he was just observing who are these city people who don't know how to like behave in the monastery circumstances. But when we learned that this monk joined the monastery as a child, and he has a different perspective of life, which is brilliant. A double-humped camel baby cuddling up to its mother, taken in Nubra Valley. This picture, when I looked at the site, when I saw it, it just made me realize that beauty is not in the form, or love is not in the form, it is everywhere. Taken in a remote village near Araku. Trust me, this village people never saw electricity in their lives. We figured out through a friend, and we went to distribute solar lamps in the village. And wherever you travel, you take a piece of your world to them, and you take a piece of their world back with you. And when we interacted, the smile says it all. I mean, the capture, when it just is the one which satisfaction for me. Traveling comes with another advantage, that you look at things from a very different perspective, and you are not a thorough packer, then it's like all the more difficult and all the more exciting for you at times, because this was taken in Barcelona. Taken in Seattle, Rainier National Park. So here I'm trying to depict, or rather we realized as friends, that life at every moment is passing like melting snow on your palm. And there's so much to see and so little time. So just travel as much you can and like capture as much as you can. That's what we wanted to like depicted in this picture. Clear skies, stargazing and looking at clear skies is a privilege nowadays. If we say that we have clear sky in Hyderabad, we are absolutely wrong. Taken in a remote village near Goa, southern Goa to be specific, it's not super moon day, it's a regular moon day, but the sky was so clear we could see the craters in the picture. So, taken at Chopta near Tungnath, Uttaranchal. So we had, somebody told us that the sunset on top of the mountain is brilliant. So we had to trek all the way to the top of the mountain, but the group was slowing us down. We boosted each other's confidence, injured ourselves in the process, went there in the right time, but I was still not getting the right shot. So I climbed up limping onto a rock and got this shot, and what I captured is right there. It mesmerized me. I hope it does to you also. So, question somebody asked, like a previous speaker, that how do you find time to travel? So that's the same question my colleagues asked me. So I asked them to, why don't you come along with me for a weekend trip to Sri Lanka? We can do it like in 2 days. The road was bumpy, the ride was tiring. We reached there, we took a small nap, and when we came out in the morning on the beach, everybody was so relaxed and so thrilled that people got hooked onto weekend traveling after that. We all like artifacts, we all like handlooms, and women especially like saris. Picture taken in a handloom weaving center in Karimnagar. Trust me, their knowledge is still verbal. They transfer their knowledge to the further generations verbally, and what they do in the magic they do with the saris is like, a lot of pain goes behind it because they don't find a business or don't find a market to sell them right now, and it's killing it, the machinery. This was taken on the bend 10 kilometers away from Lamayuru. Unfortunately, Bing rejected this picture because saying it's a sensitive area. What I tried to capture here was a vastness of mountains, which is humbling. And in the whole vast mountain landscape, you see a small monastery which is 700 years old. And this picture, again, on the way to Pangong Lake, the famous Three Idiots Lake, we had to stop on the way because of the ghats. People were like nauseous, and somebody was throwing up in the bus. So we had to stop. So I saw this way, once a traveler, always a traveler. So just wanted to depict that feeling in this. Traveling also teaches you not to judge a book by its cover. We always make assumptions looking at people by their appearance, race, or preferences. This picture clearly depicts that the shadow is of crows, whereas the people are standing exactly in the shadow lines. And this was captured in Kolva Beach near Goa. This picture, pretty famous monument, Qutub Minar. When I clicked this, people from Delhi came to me and said, we never saw Qutub Minar this way. And that's where I realized, okay, fine, that's what you have to do. You don't look at things, you see the things. And the eagle adds to the glory. Another picture, another story shot in Girgaon Chowpatty in Bombay. As we travel with a bunch of friends, we realize that our friends or companions who travel with us will follow their own journeys later on. They will not be with us all the time. Only thing that remains is memories like this. And the simple beach shot or a simple travel shot is a story or a tale to tell. So connecting back to the initial conversation of the traveler, he said, we all will end up like this someday, where we can't tell our tales to people. So why not tell the tales and freeze them in memories as pictures before we end up there? So that's all my presentation is.